Good morning and welcome to another Active at Home lesson with me, Matty. And today we're going to look at a little bit of maths on the move. So we're going to be looking at Key Stage 2 this week. So the first game that we're going to do is we're going to go over our times tables or counting up in a set number, whichever way we want to look at it. So we're going to look at our 4s, our 6s, our 8s, our 7s and our 9s. Okay, so what I want you to do is in a little space in whichever room that you're going to use, with a ball or two socks tied together to make a little ball, or whatever object you've got at home, and give this a try. So every time you make a catch, you're going to count up in that number. I want you to go through all of the numbers we've said before. So I'll start off with the 6s. So it's 6 and catch, 12, 18, okay, and so on. So if I was going to the 7s, it'd be exactly the same, but if I want to make it a little bit more difficult, could I throw it against the walls? Could I go 7, 14, 21, 28 to catch it? And can I go for alternate hands? So looking at the 8, so 8, 16, 24, and so on. Okay, try that at home. So our next game, we're going to need a pack of playing cards, and they can be any kind as long as they've got all the suits of the playing cards house in there. So the way we're going to play this game is you're going to start towards the back of whatever room you're using, and you're going to run out, hop out, jump out, whichever way you want to travel. Try and change it each time you go to the cards, and you're going to pick one up and take it back to your working area where you might have your whiteboard or your pen. And you're going to collect in total 3 if you're in year 3 or 4, or 4 cards if you're in year 5 or 6. And then we're going to try and make the highest and the lowest number using the cards and their values. But as we are doing it, when we pick up a card, each of them have a different house. So we have the spades, we have diamonds, hearts and clubs. And each of those have a slightly different tasks attached to them. So for spades, we're going to do 5 star jumps every time we get a spade. If we have hearts, every time we get hearts, we're going to do 5 sit-ups. If we get clubs, we're going to do 5 burpees, and if we get diamonds, we're going to do 5 press-ups. Now, if we want to challenge ourselves, if we pick up the card and see the number as well on there, if that's higher than 5, can we do the amount that's on that card? So for example, there's 8 on this one, if you can see it. So can we do 8 for diamonds? It'd be press-ups instead of just the 5. So that's what we're going to do for this game. Okay, so I'll show you how we're going to do that. So first of all, I'm going to hop out, pick up the card, take it back. So that's the hearts. So I'm going to have to do 5 sit-ups. 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's my first card. And then move out, pick up another into a run this time. Oh, a jack, and I didn't mention this, so if it's a face card, that counts as a 10. So I'm going to do, that's a 10 of that, and because I like hearts and I like the sit-ups, because I've gone sit-ups again, I'm going to do the 10 this time to make it a little bit harder for myself. Okay, 2 more cards to collect. And we'll pick up that card. Oh, all hearts today, so 6 of hearts. So again, sit-ups again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's hope it's not hearts this time. My apps could do with a little rest, and we'll go for this one. Perfect. 10 of diamonds. So this time it's going to be press-ups, and we'll just do the 5, and then we can go into the next little activity. Perfect. So now with our cards, we're going to have to make the biggest and smallest number using the cards we can. Okay, so with the 10s, they are going to stay 10s as the face cards. Okay, so to do this, we're going to try and make the biggest number possible. So the biggest number will be 10, 10, 9 and the 6. Okay, and what number will that make? And then the smallest number is going to be 6, 9 and 10, 10. And give that a go. If the two 10s make it a little bit more confusing for you, just go up to 9 in your deck. But think as the 10 as the extra 0 added to your digit. So that makes a really big number. So those 10s make that number very, very big for you. Okay? Give that a go. Just to make it a little bit easier for us to understand, because I know it can be quite confusing with the face cards, leave those in for your exercises, but if you go and swap them out for a number 9, a number 7, a number 8, or a higher number, and give yourself 2 cards of a slightly different number, and that might make it easier for you to visualise when you're placing out your numbers in the highest and lowest order. So again, we're going to put it into the highest order. So which number am I going to start? I've got a 9, a 6, an 8 and a 7. So we're going to start with my 9, and then my next highest, which will be my 8, and then my next highest, which will be my 7, and then finally the 6. So that means 9,876. For the smallest number, I'm going to swap it over. So I'll go 6, 7, 8 and 9. So that makes 6,000. Oops, sorry, I'm moving back so we can see. So that makes 6,800. Sorry, 6,789. Okay, give that a go again. And our next game that we're going to do is we're going to look at our multiplication, and we're going to look at multiplication of 3-digit numbers by 2-digit numbers, multiplication of 3-digit numbers by 1-digit numbers, and multiplication of 2-digit numbers by 1-digit numbers. And that's going to depend on which year group you are and what stage you are at with your learning with your maths. So I would recommend year 5s and 6s, we're going to do 3-digit by 2-digit numbers. If you're in year 5 or 4 and you feel a little bit like the 2-digit number multiplication will be a little bit too difficult, we're going to look at 3-digit by 1-digit numbers. And then if you're in year 3, let's try the 2-digit by 1-digit multiplication. And if you want to push yourself, move into that 3-digit by 1-digit number. But by all means, try all of them and see how you get on, because we're going to go through the methods the easiest way for me. So I'm going to use the column method when we are going through it in the maths part of it. But whichever method that you use at school and your teachers are teaching you, put that in practice when you are doing your calculations, should I say. Okay? Brilliant. So, to play the game, we've got cones, and I have used playing cards again underneath the cones just to make it a little bit easier. So, we've got a 3 under this card. So at the back we've got odd numbers, and at the front we've got even numbers. So what you're going to do with your beanbag or any object that you're going to throw, you're going to try and hit one of the cones, and you're going to take 5 shots, and you're going to try and get all, for year 5 and 6 you're going to take 5, year 4s, for your 4, you're going to take 4 shots just to get the numbers for your multiplication, and year 3s take 3 shots. Okay? What you're going to do is you're going to check that number that's underneath the cone, and you're going to write it down on your board, and then you're going to make your sum. So the first 3 of my shots will be my 3-digit number, and then the next 2 will be my number I'm going to multiply it by for my year 5 and 6 multiplication. And you're not allowed to throw at the same cone twice, so just to make it a little bit harder for you, and doesn't mean you're going to get 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 all the way through, because that'll make it a bit too easy. Okay, so we'll go with our 5 and 6 one first. So we've got the green one. So the green one is a 4, so that's my first number on my board. So I 4, put that onto my board, go for the yellow, Oh. And that's a 9. Okay, so that's my next number. And we'll go for a red one there. And that's an 8. So we're going to have a nice big number. So that is my number that I'm going to start with. Now I'm going to put my time sign, so my X. And this is going to be my next number. So we'll go for the 4. Red one. And that's an ace. So that's a 1. Makes it nice and easier for me. And we'll go for the white one, just to finish. And that is a 6. Okay, so those are my numbers. I'll put my beanbag just back there. Perfect. And that gives me my sum. So I'm going to set this out into, I'll move back a touch into the column method. Okay, so that means I'm going to put the sums underneath each other. So 4, 9, 8 times by 16. Okay, and then I draw a line. Now the way I find the easiest, because I'm going to have to do 2 separate sums and then add them together. So I'm going to draw another line there, and because the second one that I'm going to do is the one, but when I place value, that equates to 10. I know it's already going to need a 0 at the end to increase my number. So I can take the 0 from that 10 there and place it there, and that makes it a little bit easier for me to do the sum in my head. So we're going to go from left to right as we do. So 6 by 8 is, try this at home if you want to. So we're going to do 6 by 8 and count it out in your head. So we'll go through it. So we will go either in our 6s or our 8s. So count them up. So it's 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. Okay, so I take my 8 and carry that below, the 4 below, or just on the line, whichever way you do it, but I tend to do it just below. So I know I need to add 4 to the next one I do. So it's going to be 9 times 6. Now I was taught a crafty little way with my 9s, where I can use my hands. So if I put my hands up like that, and that's my 5, these are going to be my 10s, and these are going to be my units. So I put down my 6th finger. So if I do my thumb, so it's 54. Does that make sense? But I need to add that 4 on as well. So I carry my 5 again, and then I add the 4 to the 4, which makes 8. And I move on to the next one, and you can see. Okay, and then 6 4s, so 6, 12, 18, 24, plus the 5, which is 9, so it's 2,988. So that's our first one. Now we'll go on to the next bit, is 1 times 8, 1 times 9, and 1 times 4, which is just the same numbers. So we'll put those in the order. So 8, and we'll cross, and we can rub those out so we don't get confused. So 8, 9, and the 4. And all we're going to do to finish off is we're going to add those numbers together. Okay, so 8 plus 0 is 8. Perfect. Draw that line and plus those. So 8 plus 0 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. So 6, carry that 1 over underneath. And then 9 plus 9 is 18. Add 1, which is 19. Perfect. And carry that 1 across again. And 2 plus 4, which is the 6. Add the 1, makes it 7. And then we get our answer, which is 7,968. Okay, please excuse my handwriting, it's not the best, but that's how we're going to work that one out with our 2-digit numbers. Okay, perfect. So that's our first one done. Now we're going to move on to our single digit, which is a little bit easier because we don't have to do the adding at the end, and it's just the way we've done it there on our first row. Okay, but we'll go through it again. We'll try to get some different numbers this time. Okay, so I'm just going to throw for 4 different cones this time. So we're going to go for that one because I don't think we had that last time. And that gives me a 3 to start with. So 3 and that one. Don't know if we had that last time. A 4. So 3 by 4. And the next one, that gives me a 7. So that's my 3-digit number. So 3, 4, 7. And then put my times sign and see what my next number is going to be. And we'll go for the other one on the end. Ooh. And that is a 9, which is very, just checking, just to make sure you know I'm not cheating, and that's a 9. Okay? So we're going to do by 9, okay, which is not at all bad. We know that little cheat that we said earlier on. Okay, so again we're going to set it out into our column method. So 3, 4, 7 times by 9. But please do use any methods that you use in class, because I don't want to confuse you. This is just the way I was taught, and I find it the easiest way to do it. Okay, and it's the way we tend to teach when we get a little bit higher. Okay, so again, 9 by 7. So we use our fingers again, and we find our 7th finger, which is that one. So that is 63. So 3, carry the 6. 9 by 4, 9 times by 4, sorry. So 4 is 36. 36, yes. Okay, so 6 plus 6 is 12. So it becomes 4. So we'll carry that 1 again. So that becomes a 4 because we've got the 3 already, and we need to add that 1 to it. 9 times by 3 is 9, 18, 27. Perfect. And we've got to remember to add that 4 on. So 27 plus 4 equals, perfect, 31. So our answer is 3,123, sorry. Okay. Please check my working out as well, just in case I made a mistake, and work back through to make sure you've done it right. Okay, so that's how we do that one. And our final one we're going to do is our 2-digit number. Okay, so we're just going to throw our beanbag 3 times this time. So we'll go for the white one in the corner, and that gives me 6. And we're going to go for the red one in the middle, and that gives me a 3. So that's my number 63. And let's see what we're timesing it by. Okay, and I might close my eyes to try and make it a little bit harder, because I have an idea now. Oh, and I've hit it, that same middle one again, and that's 3. So 63 times by 3. Okay. Now I am going to use this other method I have done before. I'm going to break it down. So we break that number of 63. So we have 60 at one side, and it's 3 at the other with our place value. So we're going to do 60 times by 3, and then 3 times by 3, and see what that equals. So for 3 times by 3 is 9, which gives us our answer for that. And then 60 times by 3. Now, we know 60 times 3 is quite hard in our heads. So if we cover that 0, and remember to add that on to the end, so we're borrowing it and just taking it away just to make it easy for us. So it becomes 6 times 3, which is 18, perfect. But remember, we borrowed that 0, so we need to add that back on. So we add that 0 just at the end, so it's 180. Okay, and then we need to add those 2 numbers together. So 180 plus 9. And if we want to do it like that, we can do it nice and simply, or we can put it into our column method, which we've used there, and we add those up. But nice and easy, because the 9 takes over the 0, so it becomes 189. Okay, and that makes it nice and simple for us to do that. Okay, so that is what we're going to do and show you. I would love it if you try to do as many as possible of each of those sums. So try and get as many different combinations you can. Try the methods I've shown you, or the ones that you use in class, which you might find which will make it a lot easier if they are slightly different to what I've just shown you. But I want you to try and challenge yourself. So if you're finding the 2-digit by 1 digit easy, can we move up to the 3-digit by 1 digit? And then if we're finding that a little bit easy and we've started to understand it, can we push ourselves to that 2-digit? And just check back on the video. Just remember to remember your place value when you are doing those times. Okay, give that a go. Thank you very much.